stay and that you're not left behind of the understanding of it. And we can always talk more about these things as we looking forward. The welcome to stockmarketpenny.com. This is called the Morgan Stanley Retail Index. And what we have done today on February 2nd of 2010 is that the trading students and senior pro traders and people alike are examining the overbought situation and what that looks like fundamentally. And basically down here, when we were putting in these bottoms down here, this was the time to buy retail. We've come all the way back up to the '07 reversal, and basically we are testing that. Now, granted that we had a lot of stimulus has come in the economy, but forward-looking fundamentally is that we do not see the sustainability forward-looking in this index in retail. And that's a lot of it is based on the consumer. We've gone too far too fast. There's a topping process. We had a pullback. Every time we've had a little bit of a pullback, these little double weekly pullbacks, we bounced and we've made higher highs. And we've had another double weekly pullback, and we're going to be watching to see if the actual, this is the top over here. So what we're going to be watching is to see if this top is taken out. Now, taking a long-term short below the market is what we're going to do. And we waited for that top. We haven't actually traded this yet because we haven't, but we are. And I've waited for about 3 months as I've reviewed it over and over and over. And as I did, we did hit this top of that trend line, and we had that double weekly reversal. And it's one area where people think that retail is the safest haven. Well, when we look at sustainable earnings within the retail index over the next 3 quarters, 4 quarters, we find a very big discrepancy as to where that this is trading to what the fundamentals are. And basically, we're going to be watching this trend line high. If we come up to it on a weekly level and we start to get a weekly reversal, then we will start putting on our first round of positions. And basically, you even in all your other major indexes or any index or stock, it really doesn't matter. That's the reversal. This is your counter trend. Now, you can see the wideness of the bar, which was a little bit wider. You can see that this was somewhat of what we call a weekly reversal. It's confirmed when you don't break below that narrow range weekly candlestick there. And you can see the width and the wideness of the bars here, of the weekly moves. And this one is a little bit more, and we're back above the 10-week. And it hadn't been below the 10, and it undercut the 20. And we're going to see where the lower high is, because you see, if the index comes up and it starts to fail, then that means that all the stocks that trade and make up this index, that means that the weak retail stocks individually in here will make very good intraday shorts. And the problem with people, it's not a problem, but the lack of education or understanding per se, is that if the index is going to get weak, that means that retail stocks individually at the upper end of their trading range at resistance are going to fall over automatically. Why do I say that? Because an index is an index, and it takes all the stocks working together within the index to move that higher. Well, guess what? If all the stocks in the sector here do not move it through resistance at this upper trend line up here where these 2 candlesticks are, then that means that the stocks per se on their own individual merit will roll over. And that's a way of looking at where the weakness is, because remember, there's sector indices for all of the stocks that they trade in. And if the indices are topping out, then that means that the individual equities are going to follow suit. So therefore, it's a matter of going and cherry picking out the individual stocks in the sector here and find the most overbought ones to trade to sell short or use put options. And that's how we start to cherry pick and narrow out the list and only trade the ones that are going to correct because they're too overbought as well. And we'll cover this much more in time over the next, I would say, month or so, and as we're moving forward. And these trades will be put on. And basically, we'll start cherry picking the one. I will go through the list and find the most overbought stocks in the sector. Because if the sector can't take out that top, then that means that the most overbought retail stocks on their weekly charts are going to roll over. And this is how we start cherry picking our trade management.